Stop lying.
It paints a picture of an opposition driven in part by a refusal to accept a black president.
Stop telling the American people that this is an administration that's cutting the deficit.
In fact, it reduces the deficit over the first 10 years, even more over the second.
Stop telling the American people that this is an administration that's cutting taxes.
There are tax cuts and credits that will benefit 95% of families.
Stop telling people that these are new programs that are going to be helpful to them.
Congress is expected to approve the economic stimulus plan by tomorrow. It's designed in part to get you spending again by giving you the money to do it.
Start telling the truth. In 2008, their goal was to elect Barack Obama by any means possible, and they just created a narrative that was simply not true. And what do you think would have been the reaction of the American people if on election day they'd gone to the polls knowing that in electing Barack Obama, they were electing the single most radical socialist in the history of this country? I submit to you, he never would have been elected. That's the power of the media.
The liberal media refuse to tell the truth about Obama, but the American people are discovering the truth. And the more they know, the less they like. The liberal media have declared all-out war on conservatives. They will do anything to promote Obama and his agenda, endeavoring to destroy the conservative movement politically and conservative leaders personally.
They find these empty vessels who know nothing about the world, nothing about foreign policy, who immediately begin to spout the neocon line. I read her book. It's full of that crap.
On Saturday, that support came from evolutionary regressives like Michelle Bachmann and John Voight. On a daily basis, that support comes from the racists and homophobes of radio and television, the Rush Limbaughs.
I call them the news media the shock troops of the Obama administration because they're the ones doing all the dirty work for him, so that he doesn't have to do it. They're the ones who are vilifying talk radio.
They have to silence truthful opposition, but they can't do it with a more powerful truth of their own because they're not working with much truth.
Tell the Truth is the Media Research Center's declaration of war on the left-wing media. It is a call to action for every conservative who wants to save freedom in America.
We can't stop our efforts. We've got to maintain that intensity of letting the American people know exactly the fact that the socialist agenda of the Obama administration is being pushed by those same people who then look at you in the camera and say, I'm nothing but an objective journalist. No, they're not. They're participants.
Tell the Truth 2010 will be the biggest effort ever undertaken by the MRC to confront and neutralize liberal media bias. Tell the Truth means significant expansion of the MRC's current work and intensifying the efforts of MRC's team of 60 experienced media experts, journalists, and staff, monitoring more news programs, more radio broadcasts, more newspapers, magazines, and websites, exposing the slander, lies, and distortions. This campaign will tell the truth about the real cost and impact of Obamacare and cap and trade. Tell the truth about immigration and the true nature of Supreme Court nominees. Tell the Truth 2010 will reach a record number of Americans, over 80 million each week.
It's about my children and my grandchildren and their progeny as well. It's about generations to come. We've always been a nation where we left the next generation in slightly better hands than they were a generation before. And that's not happening now. We stand to be the generation that will be asked by future generations, why didn't you stop it? I want to be the generation that says, we returned America to her greatness. There were those who wanted to destroy this country. And there were some of us who said no. That's what I want.